the only event extreme enough to put our name to. The Unlimited Dusi.
Well, the boat pound is still pretty full here as the leading paddlers are preparing for day 2 of the Unlimited Dusi, a run from Dusi Bridge down to Inanda Dam. It's a day that could see plenty of changes in the leaderboard. Just 20 seconds separates the top 2 paddlers, Zondi and Burkett, but the water level is expected to be very, very high. It's going to be another thrilling day on the river.
So let's recap the action that's brought us to this point. Day 1 started under misty skies at Kampsdrift in Pietermaritzburg. The sprint across the flat water of Kampsdrift to thunderous applause, and it's Burkett and McGregor the first down the Ernie Pierce Weir, setting the early pace as they charged through the outskirts of the city in Pietermaritzburg. Misty skies making no bones about the fact that it was going to be really hot, and the heat a factor on the day. In the mist, Abby Adey the first down Ernie Pierce Weir. No problems at all for the very competent Team Best 4 Kayak Centre paddler. Then the turn for Tulani Mbanjwa to bring himself to the fore. Super talented running with the boat, and he was leading the race as they put in at the end of Jeff's Road. But watch this, in he goes as he tries to adjust the pump in his boat while he's on the water. Then the turn of Sponelo Zondi to come to the front. And that's the way it would stay all the way through to the finish. The women's race now in the firm grip of Robin Kime, who came from behind and then gradually started strangling the life out of it. Zondi with the men, Kime with the women.
Day 2, the big question mark, like they say, can make or break your race. It's definitely broken my race before. It's also made my race before. I'd say look, you've got to go into it with an open mind. You don't really know how big it's going to be, how full the water's going to be when you hit the confluence. But at the moment, the release that we've been told, it's going to be big. It's going to be a lot of water, a lot of volume coming through the rapids. The wave trains are going to be huge. So I think if you're not stable on your boat and you're not confident, I think it could be your worst day. But hopefully for the whitewater paddlers or the big water paddlers, I think it's going to be a blast.
I wouldn't say I have a mental block of anything on day 2. For the past 2 years, I've had very good day 2s and I've always made up time. So I kind of had almost a mental boost when I go into that day, knowing that it's one of my days, and I'm excited to get into it because I've always made up time. But also, the one thing you've got to think about on day 2 is that you have to keep an even head, and you can't, until you get to the dam, there's no surety of your position because there are a lot of big rapids. I think it was 4 years ago, myself and Kwanda and Flope wrapped our boat in Tombi. So there is sort of that in the back of the mind when you get to that section. But yeah, if you can hold it together, which I have managed to for the last few years, it's a great day, and I always look forward to day 2.
All about the pressure on day 2 as the paddlers gear up for the elapsed time start. 45 plus kilometers all the way to the headwaters of Inanda Dam. An elapsed time starts, so Sponelo Zondi starting with a small lead over the defending champ and 3 times winner Andy Burkett.
What do you expect? They're talking about quite big water today.
Yeah, I've seen a few pictures. Apparently the helicopter flew over yesterday and it looked like even before the water was fully up, that was definitely a very full river. So it's going to be quite hairy, but hope it all goes well. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Plenty of support in this neck of the woods for this Computer Form Change Your Life Academy product. Sponelo Zondi holding all the cards as they go up the saddles portages as well. The Dusi River fairly low and scratchy, so the run's counting for a lot here. Opening up time on Andy Burkett. Real buzz in the valley now, a lot of the locals moving into this neck of the woods, and here is where the character of the race changes because the bony Dusi suddenly gives way to the heaving Umgani River. There's an estimated 50 cubics of water coming out of Nagle Dam. Late last night, it was as much as 65. Add that to the 15 of the water, and you'll see why this young man is getting washed, spun, and rinsed. Here comes the leader into washing machine. Sponelo Zondi taking on the heart of this beast. Down the right, no problems at all. any concerns people might have had about his rough water paddling skills being laid to rest here. Beautiful lines, getting carried to the right, but he's cool, he's calm, he's composed, and he's out on the racing line. Top job, Sponello Zondi. Meanwhile, Andy Burkett has gone for the Pope shoot on the left, and he's made a bit of a mess of it. He's high and dry on the rocks, and he's gifting precious seconds to Sponello Zondi. He does get out of it, okay? Now, third place, Lance Kime. Where's he going to go? He's heading right. It looks like he's heading into the heart of Washing Machine. That's exactly what he's doing. Let's see if he can make this right. One of the rising stars of South African canoeing, a product of Team Bestball Kayak Centre, and certainly one of the surprise packages of canoeing this year. Takes a very cautious line down the right-hand side, slightly longer, but it's secure. He's safely through in one piece in third. Now, here's the race for fourth and fifth, and Tulani Mbanjwa being shadowed very carefully by Hank McGregor down Pope Sneak. Nerves jangling at the start. Not only is this the longest day, but the jungle drums were talking about the heaving river just around the corner.
Morning.
Morning. Carry on with the story.
No, we can't.
You could paddle for 5 days, 6 days on that.
On just the one bar. Or on the whole pack.
Bum's a little bit numb, but it's all right, eh?
It's my first Dusi, so the master in the front, he's the driver, and I just follow him.
My partner has done, it's his 7th Dusi, so this man is making sure that I'm getting down the river safely. He knows the lines very well.
Looking forward to Nkumeni and Hippo. Just heard that we can't do Tombi, so we probably ported around to the Gumtree portage.
Nice privilege to have him in the back. He's fun to be with. A bit chirpy.
Today we're just excited. There's not as much running and a bit cooler than yesterday.
Very nervous. I just keep my ears blocked. I don't listen to any. Somebody said something about helmets earlier on. I was like, no, that's not for me. So I just keep my ears blocked and I don't listen to any of those legacy stories.
I'm just dumb in the back, so I'll just watch the front, you know.
And with that, the first of the batches sets off, some on water, some on foot. It's all downhill from here to Inanda Dam. The confluence section, absolutely key, and this is one place on a full river where you don't want to make any mistakes. Now, Sponello Zondi has taken the traditional portage over the bush on the right, and here goes Andy Burkett into Willem Shoot, but he's got a little bit stuck, and you can see he's got a slightly bent rudder there to boot, but he's managed to get going. If he can pull this off, then he will certainly make time on Zondi and perhaps even take the lead. That's exactly what he's done, but here he is approaching Gauging. We are talking to his seconds, telling him he's got a problem with his rudder. He wants a replacement rudder. He's now in the lead, but by the time he gets to Marianne Foley, he'll be looking for his seconds to give him a replacement rudder. That's a quick replacement, and you can see Zondi now in second, sliding down the left-hand side of Gauging Weir. So the lead has changed hands early on. Now here's Robin Kime, just below Washing Machine, entering the Cascades. She's having a lot of fun in this big water, really enjoying herself. She's also got the luxury of a 10-minute plus lead, but she's not going to risk Willem Shoot. Here she is, taking out for the portage on the flat rocks around. Emptying her boat on the run. Nobody else around her. Just below that, the Marianne Foley Causeway, named after the two men who first did this race way back in the 1800s. And choices here, particularly with the full river. Here's Andy Burkett opting to go on what is now regarded as the traditional line down the left. You can see that bent rudder not looking good. But Sponello Zondi now reverting to the old school line down the right. It's actually slightly straighter, and I suspect it's slightly quicker as well. Remember, Burkett stopping to change a rudder here, so Zondi back into the lead. And here comes Robin Kime, comfortably in control of the women's race. She's in a position where she's not only enjoying herself, but she has the luxury of being able to put safety first. She's already walked around Washing Machine, and you can be sure that she's going to walk around a number of the day's other bigger rapids. But she handles going under the bridge at Marianne Foley absolutely fine. Still a 10-minute plus, in fact near a 30-minute gap to this girl, her teammate in Team Bestball Kayak Centre, Abby Adey, going very nicely. Abby on the water with her sister Alex, recently back from a trip overseas, the two Adey twins. Apart from being very hard to tell apart, it's great to have them both on the water. Abby going brilliantly, consolidating her second place. I think she realizes that 13 minutes is perhaps a step too far, and this isn't really going to help. Perhaps she's stopping to get some help from the seconds, but she bumps a rock as well. Oh, this is going to be frustrating for her. I suspect she was pulling in to get some admin done to her boat, but she's fallen in momentarily, and that's going to allow a gap for this girl, Bianca Hall, to perhaps pull a little bit closer. Bianca Hall sliding under the water at Marianne Foley, looking very comfortable in the rough water. But for the overwhelming majority of paddlers, it was the battle largely against the heaving Umgeni River than any of their own attributes or lack thereof. Lines key here, the central line at Gauging Weir, eating boats. Anybody hitting the central line is really having to work hard. There's Oscar and Unati having taken a very safe line around Gauging Weir. But whether it was Gauging Weir or whether it was Washing Machine, the river was having a whole lot of fun, chewing paddlers up and spitting them out. Washing Machine in particular was advised against by many of the marshals. A couple of brave paddlers decided to take that right-hand line, but by and large they came unstuck, many people opting for the Pope's Sneak down the left, which was rockier, bonier, but certainly a whole lot safer than getting washed, spun and rinsed in Washing Machine.
A lot of fun.
Got to do it with a smile on your face. Marianne Foley down the right-hand side, something new for many of the paddlers. The old schoolers who might have paddled in the 70s and 80s will remember it, but you've got to know your P's and Q's going under Marianne Foley, because the river doesn't flow straight under these concrete pillars, and getting it wrong can certainly have a hefty price tag attached to it. Some close shaves. This one is going to end badly, I'm afraid. Shortly further downriver, the steep slog up the hill at Ngumeni. This outskirts the tricky Mamba Gorge, which at any level is unpaddleable.
I'm the muscle, the strength, getting to the top of the hill. It's a great walk. We're nearly there. It's all good. Well, getting to the top of Ngumeni is always a great feeling. For the downhill now, my Mediterranean partner gets stuck in.
Ngumeni Hill is the big portage on day 2. It's one of the steepest of the race, but it's also a chance to stretch your legs. In the back of the paddlers' minds, they will know that just on the other side of Ngumeni Hill, the big 3, the tail end of Mamba Gorge. So while this is a chance to relax and catch the breath, it's a chance to steel the nerves for the big water ahead.
When you cut me aside, you know I'm bleeding. When you cut me aside, you know I'm bleeding. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Now back to all the action on the other side of Ngumeni Hill as the lead paddlers head down into the tail end of Mamba Gorge, and the 3 rapids at line weight, Gumtree, Tombi and Hippo. Yellow Van Man, key icon of this stage of the race. Always catch him at the top of Cabbage Tree as well. But here goes Bonello Zondi in the lead and running hard to try and capitalize on it. He's been gifted the lead by Andy Burkett having to do those rudder repairs just a few kilometers further upstream. But there's Burkett, and already in the distance you get a sight of Zondi on the water, so he's got a substantial lead. But can he master the big 3 waiting just around the corner? Here he is lining up for Tombi. There's a lot of water here and he's choosing quite a central line. He's going to hit it in the middle, bounces out, tail walks, keeps it together. Great works, Bonello Zondi. Now he still has that lead, and Andy Burkett has got all the work to do. He comes on a very similar line into Tombi, slides into it fairly slowly. Oh, and he's getting munched. The tail of his boat gets swished around and he's been dumped in the water. Now there's a big suck back here. What's he going to do? Looks like he's trying to get back in the boat. Deep water re-entry. This is a brave move by Burkett. Oh, he's in. That's a good effort. He's almost sliding into the cockpit. Be a great move if he can pull this off, but he's getting dragged back and he's tipped out again. Bad news for Andy Burkett. He's also dinged the rudder in the process. He's now elected to swim his boat out, and this could be the end of Dusi Hope number 4 in a row for Andy Burkett. Here comes Lance Kime. Can he keep it together in this horrible monster called Tombi? He does. My word, he hardly gets wet. Brilliant move by Lance Kime, and he also sees in front of him Andy Burkett getting into his boat. Now that will make his pulses race, because he now knows he is up to 2nd place in the Unlimited Dusi 2013. Now, Hippo Rapid, so much water you can slide over the rocks on the right. Zondi does it, catches it to the right, and he's away clean. Here comes Lance Kime. Can he do the same thing? Same line. Beautifully done. Great river skills from young Lance Kime. And in 3rd place, oh, Andy Burkett is struggling. That rudder is finished. He's doing the whole Hiawatha routine with one paddle and is desperately trying to maintain his line as he comes into Hippo. Really not a happy chappy here. He's elected to take a fairly dry line on it. Let's see if he can keep it together. Good skills from Andy Burkett, but now he's got to get away from the suckback. Real rudder troubles for Andy Burkett. He's going to have to stop and fix this here, because as a riverboat, he's in deep, deep trouble. And here's Hank McGregor behind him. Hank posting the fastest time on day 2, and he comes into Tombi. Great line, close to the Pinnacle Rock, and he slides away from danger quick and easy. The Team Bestwalk Kayak Center captain is just ahead of Tulani Mbanjwa. He's now got a brave line down the middle into the heart of Tombi, and he pulls his way out of it. Good work, Tulani Mbanjwa. This is a notorious stretch of river that the paddlers speak of in hushed tones, because when there's lots of water, as there is in this case, and they're catching up the water up to 60 or 70 cubics that was released overnight to try and ease the flow. And here comes Robin Kime. She's going to take a chance at Tombi, yes or no? No, she isn't. She's been afforded the luxury of walking around it simply because she's got a 15-minute buffer in the bank. This is very much part of her game plan. She doesn't want to take any big risks in the rough water that could jeopardize her chances of coming home to take a fourth back-to-back Dusi title. So she clambers over the rocks, and way behind her, Abby Adi in second place is cresting the top of Ngomeni Hill. Off comes the drag line, and she starts the pull all the way down the dirt road towards the river and the big three lying in wait. Robin Kime really making this big water stretch of river look extremely comfortable. Here she is coming into Hippo. This is a slide down the right. Can she make this one? She's got a bad track record. Oh, and she's out. And there's plenty of water here. Let's watch that again. She looked to have it, but the catch stroke to the right didn't work, and she's out of her boat, and she can't stand here as she has in years gone by, and the boat's wrapping. She's wrapped her boat on a rock below Hippo. This is a disaster. Is this the end of the race for Robin Kime? Now the valley is abuzz because the race might have changed for Burkett and Kime. Everybody holding their breath, but Kime's Kevlar boat seems to have popped out, and she's able to get back onto the river and carry on her merry way. Behind her, Abby Adi doesn't know about the drama, so she's also not willing to take any risks. She's consolidating second instead of trying to attack, not knowing that there's been all sorts of drama ahead of her. Abby Adi also acutely aware that there are 4 girls in fairly close reach behind her, and she doesn't want to risk a mistake and possibly let one of them move up into second place. Hippo and Adi makes it look deceptively easy. Go, girl. Behind the leaders, the rest of the paddlers were plucking up the courage to take on Tombi, and let's see how they can score out of 10 as the Umgeni takes on the individual paddler. This one could end badly. Oh, that's a 7. That goes through without any problems. This one will get 1 or 2. That's bleak. Here's a paddler trying to pull himself out of the trouble. There's a fail. Score is 0. And here's a paddler getting away with a 7.5. Rescue crew's doing a great job. Wrong side down, Tombi. Take a 0, lad. The Umgeni winning hands down at this stage. Here's somebody on a great line next to Pinnacle Rocket, getting away clean. You get a 0 for going around, but you get your boat in one piece. There's a bonus score attached to that. In fact, a lot of paddlers were being encouraged to take the route over the rocks. But a bit of an attack, 4.5 for effort, 1 for artistic merit, and he gets away clean and avoiding the suckback. The double, however, does not miss the suckback, so they'll get 1. Here's a K3. K3 decides for the portage. K1 going through the gnarly side and getting away with it. That gets a 1.1. And a 2 for artistic merit as this man pulls his way out of the suckback. Oh, that's a clean 0, I'm afraid, and 0 for artistic merit. Down the high side, 3.5 simply because they made it. It's real dangerous. And here's somebody heading onto the rocks. Into the steep side, smack the boat, -1 for demerit, and here goes the steep side attempt once again. Tombi winning this battle hands down. Here's some of the Unlimited team paddlers. Beautiful line, they're in it. Oh, down to the right, 4.5 for effort. Here's another attempt down the right-hand side, sneaking up against Pinnacle Rock. It's all looking good. Are they going to pull it off? No, they're not. That's a 2. Nobody scoring above 5 and getting away unscathed from Tombi in 2013.
Country very nicely, and Tombi doesn't look as bad as everybody made out to be. I'm going to catch an Artie and Oscar Chinopsky and all that, but I'm sure as hell not dumb enough to shoot Tombi Rapid, which is that.
Great weather, great company, torrid weather.
Less than a kilometre from Tombi, you get to Hippo Rocks, and traditionally this is one that all the paddlers shoot. The logic here is that it's quite an easy pool to swim out of, but with the river flowing so full, the only safe line was skidding over the rocks on the extreme right. That didn't make it any easier, however. Those that attempted the main shoot generally got a severe dunking. Here's the K3, the long beastie handling Hippo Rocks just fine. The line down the right requires quite a bit of balance. Here's the traditional center line, and as long as you pull away from the hole and get into the tongue, you can get away and claim huge bragging rights for shooting Hippo down the middle. Down the right, it's an ability to catch it and prevent from falling it to the right. Ooh, this is looking a little bit cautious. You need a bit more boat speed going into the hole. Oh, munched.
My mates are going to love this one. There's big fans coming. You could have had
well, we went down Tombi, and then our boat shot Hippo by itself. And then that's where we got this nice hole in the boat.
After 36 kilometers on the two rivers, the paddlers then have to contemplate the prospect of a further 10 kilometers across the flat waters of Inanda Dam. Here's Hank McGregor and Thulani Mbanjwa chasing a recreational paddler who's enjoying being part of the Dusi, albeit momentarily, like to boast to his mates that he was paddling alongside a former double world champion. But he's been made to look like he's looking for parking as Hank McGregor pulls away, having a great paddle, posting the fastest time on the day and leapfrogging up from 6th to 3rd, but not enough to catch this man, Sbonelo Zondi, homing in on victory.
Just over a minute now, but Lance, it's a real race now because you know Andy's going to come, you know Hank's going to come as well.
Yeah, I think to have this 1 minute is really amazing for me, especially because I'm my first paddler to win the stage today. But tomorrow I will try my best to hold the gap to Lance come as soon as possible before we get to Pema.
And an unbelievable second place for Lance Kime.
Eric's a minute or so, just over a minute ahead of you for the final day. It's all set up.
Yeah, I think he's set up for the win, so he's got everything to lose. Obviously, I'll go as hard as I can, see if I can make up that time, but I think tomorrow the big deciding factor is Burma Hill, and he's amazing on that hill. I mean, we saw last year they were lying 4th and they caught up to 2nd, running that hill 6 minutes faster than anyone else. So that's going to be a very hard ask to try and beat Eric on a day like tomorrow.
Well, I first spent my rudder at Willemshoot, changed my rudder, took a swim at Tombi, had to try and work on the boat, damaged the rudder wheel a bit more over there. And from there was fun. From there on I didn't have any more bad luck.
So here are the numbers that count after the second stage, and what a mouth-watering prospect for day 3. A minute to Kime, and then ominously another minute to Hank McGregor. As for the women's race, Robin Kime completes her victory procession. In fact, a look at the stopwatch will tell her that she's breaking her own stage record by 6.5 minutes.
Tell us about your mishap today.
Yeah, yesterday I had a flawless day, and today it was far from that. I had a nasty swim at Hippo and my boat almost wrapped around a rock, and I thought that's my race over, but once I got it off, my boat just popped back into shape, and I was able to carry on. I took a few deep breaths and that was over.
Even despite all the dramas at Hippo, a magnificent performance by Robin Kime on day 2, well poised to wrap up victory number 4. But look at the youth in that leaderboard, all the way down to Camilla Pennyfather in 10. The future's looking bright.
That was a great day, big water. We have one rule though when we start the day, and that's to go for a swim. So we get our swim out the way. So today was good luck, and we just shot everything. It was a great day. It was an awesome day. I had so much fun.
The only thing I was disappointed about not shooting Tombi, because I'd heard all the war stories before that you shouldn't shoot it. We portaged and took ages, but everything else we shot Hippo, Gumtree, and all the rest of the waves, and Ananti did very well in the big rapid.
There wasn't much left in the tank. Yesterday broke us, but today was great. Just stayed in the current, followed the big water, and we got you.
Tombi looked like something out of a horror movie. I footage that, watched that from a distance, but Hippo was fantastic.
I always thought, what's this confidence? What a bit of water from right and left. My partner knows the way. Well, today I found out it was proper. Yes, it's good water. Big eye water.
Yeah, we've had a wonderful day, eh?
It's quite an experience. So to do your 39th, I mean, it must be amazing for you.
Yeah, it was just hard today. Just one swim, so it was fine.
In the back, yeah, and the gardens in the front, we got through, eh?
Some of the charity batches coming in, they've chipped in nearly 350,000 to the Unlimited Child.
I took it over 2 years ago. We've gone from 4,000 children up to 16,500 now. We're in 300 creches. We've got just under 1,000 caregivers. We're just about to train our 1,000th one next week. It's been absolutely brilliant for us, and the results are dramatic. You know, just from the posters on the wall, from the children's ability to be able, their fine motor skills are developed, their gross motor skills, cognitively they're understanding what's going on. They've got a routine, they've got a structure. They just know that they're ready for school. That's what we want to do.
Portages has surprised me actually today. It was the dam that killed a little bit.
Just enjoying the fun in the sun and have had an amazing time so far, yeah.
So much better than yesterday. I died yesterday, not enough training, last minute decision to do Dusi, and the heat in the valley was hectic.
One city swim just off the washing machine there, but all in all was good, just this paddle was hard, the flat water.
Powerful water.
Yes.
Did you fall out anyway?
No.
Safe.
Yes.
I was just saying to Doug now, it felt like we were at a Sharka for 7 hours, just coming down the rapids. It was absolutely amazing. So yeah, it was good. We had 1 or 2 little mishaps, but that's all in the Unlimited Dusi to expect, eh?
Well, smiling faces as the paddlers go into the finish arch here, day 2 of the Unlimited Dusi Canoe Marathon on Inanda Dam. Conditions overhead near perfect, cool, a little bit of drizzle and exhilarating river conditions as well, made for some thrilling paddling. The racing up front, equally fascinating. Eric Zondi and Robin Keim, they are the paddlers to beat on day 3 as they head down to Blue Lagoon.
The Unlimited Dusi was proudly brought to you by The Unlimited, your everything.